Hi, all, and thank you for joining us for the Manhattan Neighborhood Network's Represent NYC. My name is Jonnel Doris, and I am the Commissioner for the New York City Department of Small Business Services, where we help unlock economic potential and create economic security for all New Yorkers by connecting New Yorkers to good jobs, creating stronger businesses, and building thriving neighborhoods across the 5 boroughs. It's an honor to be back and engaged in a conversation with 2 outstanding leaders today. We are joined by our Executive Director for Black Entrepreneurs NYC, or BENYC, Kenneth Ebie. Ken, will you introduce yourself?
How are you, Commissioner? And hello to everybody who's tuning in. My name is Ken Ebie. I'm the Executive Director and Chief Development Officer of Black Entrepreneurs NYC, BENYC, which is a city government initiative focused on providing support to boost Black entrepreneurship in the 5 boroughs of New York City. I'm excited to be here and excited to tell you more about what we're doing at BENYC.
Wow, thank you, Ken. We're also joined by Tiffany Joy Murchison, CEO of TJM and Company Media Boutique. Tiffany, would you introduce yourself to us?
Hi, good morning. I'm so glad to be here with you. I know the name is a mouthful. So yes, I am the CEO of TJM and Company Media Boutique. We are a PR and communications firm located here in Brooklyn, a recipient of many of the small business services programs. I'm a WeNYC cohort graduate and happy to be here representing the mentor program.
Wow, fantastic. Thank you guys really for being here as we talk about the state of Black entrepreneurship in the city. Well, let's get started. But right before we begin, I would like to give our audience an overview about the BENYC initiative. Black Entrepreneurs NYC launched in 2019 and is a first of its kind model in a major American city to help address the racial wealth gap by empowering Black entrepreneurs. Some real shocking statistics. Black entrepreneurs were 3 times as likely to be rejected by bank funding than white business owners, according to Goldman Sachs analysis. We also know that New York Fed said that Black businesses were twice as likely to be closed during the COVID crisis. Furthermore, Goldman Sachs has said that 40% of Black businesses say their cash reserves will run out, before the end of the year. And I think this is so critical right now as we think about the number of Black entrepreneurs in the city, which CUF released a report back in September of last year that just capped it at about 3.5%. When we originally did our report, it was around 2%. But look, there's still a great opportunity for Black businesses in the city. Black-owned firms are growing 4 times faster than white-owned firms in New York City. And Black women are the fastest growing demographic entrepreneurs in the city, in the United States. And so we certainly know that there's a disconnect in the ability of Black entrepreneurs and the resources that are available to help them grow and thrive. So Ken, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about your journey in getting the role here at BENYC as our executive director.
Well, I was very excited to hear about the rollout of the BENYC initiative. I come from a background of having been involved in a number of different industries. I am trained as a lawyer, did my law school at Yale Law School, and practiced in New York City as a corporate attorney for a number of years. But I've been in the world of law, spent some time in politics as the campaign manager for the late Brooklyn District Attorney Ken Thompson, and subsequently did work in city government. So most recently, I was the head of external affairs and deputy general counsel at the mayor's office of media and entertainment, which oversees the entertainment and media industry, over $9 billion annually at the time. And so I had some experience in a number of different areas, including public affairs, where I was at a national public affairs firm. Most recently, and I took this role prior to considering kind of what the important essence of SBS's mission is. But most recently, I actually branched out on my own as an entrepreneur and started my own social impact public affairs firm. And so very familiar with the experience of getting an operation started, trying to identify what your resources are, and trying to connect with the market and provide value. And so that was something which was very much at the center of my heart when I learned about the BNYC initiative and the executive director position. I was completely blown away by an approach which is targeted and focused on providing information resources specifically to businesses that are owned by Black New Yorkers, and specifically focusing on the need to encourage and to boost entrepreneurship in the Black community because of the connection between that and wealth generation.
Wow, that's just fantastic. And what a wonderful background. And again, we're excited and elated to have you on board. You've been doing a fantastic job, and sure we'll get into that a little bit on in the program. But tell us a little bit about how BNYC is addressing the needs of Black business owners in the city right now.
Absolutely. Well, I think one of the things that's really important is BNYC is really aiming to address the lack of a number of things, some really, I would say, some historical and systemic challenges that have made it difficult for Black business owners to start and to really scale their businesses. We're looking to address the lack of equitable access to capital. We're aiming to provide opportunities to create and to access professional networks. We're looking to leverage contracting opportunities through the city procurement process and other large actors here in New York City to enable Black-owned businesses to scale. And we're looking at really trying to position Black entrepreneurs and the imagination of Black business owners in the center of the economy for tomorrow. So, the pandemic has really demonstrated the need in many ways for targeted resources to address these unique challenges that are faced by the Black community. So we're really aiming to address those in very specific ways.
Yeah, look, I've heard you say that how we do the work at BNYC is as important as what we do in support of Black businesses. Can you tell us a little bit more about that concept?
Absolutely. I think that on the path to doing this good work and to boosting Black entrepreneurs and business owners, we have to be focused on the how. And a key element of what we are doing at BNYC is we are developing important strategic partnerships that will enable us to have financial support and other material support to execute on the programs that we plan to have impact on the Black community and on the economy of New York City overall. So to give you an example, the initial inaugural partnerships that we've established have provided some tremendous support for what we hope will be the crux of some of these systemic challenges. We have a partnership with Ernst & Young. Ernst & Young, top flight consulting company, is going to provide 2,000 hours of pro bono consulting services, technical professional support for Black business owners. We think that's going to be critical to enable business owners to really identify what it's going to take for them to not only survive, but thrive in this current environment. We have a partnership with Goldman Sachs through their 10,000 Small Businesses Initiative. They're going to be providing world-class support, education materials, and some financial products that will help Black entrepreneurs. We also have a tremendous partnership, which we can talk about in further depth, but a tremendous partnership with MasterCard, which has branched into a number of different activations, but primarily through the provision of their Digital Doors program, which will help business owners identify how best to break into or how to optimize their virtual presence, their online presence to be able to take advantage of that online digital marketplace and the opportunities really that are at the center of where commerce is happening right now. And most interestingly, we have a tremendous partnership with the Brooklyn Navy Yard, where we are going to be developing an accelerator on the campus of the Brooklyn Navy Yard that will really focus on providing support and programming for Black entrepreneurs and businesses that are looking to break into the high growth, high priority areas such as the technology industry. And hopefully through that work, we'll connect them to some opportunities to get funding to make their dreams come true. So we're really excited about how we're doing the work, which is through public-private partnerships. And that's going to be essential in getting this work done for Black entrepreneurs and for the city of New York, to be frank.
Well, look, I'm excited about that accelerator because We've been talking about a place, and even as we released our report, we heard that Black entrepreneurs need a place. Black businesses need a place to call their own, a place to go to, a place to connect, place to network. And I think that's so critical. And Tiffany Joy, I'm so excited to have you on. Look, to have a business owner on the show, have a business owner who's a part of the fastest growing demographic of business owners in the country. Tell us a little bit about your journey and what it's been like starting and growing your business.
It's been a roller coaster ride, to be very honest. Ups and downs, successes and falls. I won't call them failures, but successes and falls. It has been a true roller coaster ride. People ask me all the time if I had to do it all over again, would I? And the answer is absolutely yes. The lessons that I've learned are invaluable. The lessons that my children have had the opportunity to learn as they've watched this journey are invaluable. So I absolutely would do it all over again. I might take some things I learned and change a little bit, but it's definitely been very rewarding working for myself. And, definitely a roller coaster ride, though, not for the faint at heart at all.
Exactly. I think entrepreneurship is something not for the faint of heart. You have to have grit and tenacity, and you have to have that perseverance. So what are some of the common misconceptions entrepreneurs have really when starting a business in your industry particularly?
I think in my industry particularly, which is PR, it really is about relationships. And I think a lot of people coming into PR saying, okay, especially in New York, I live in New York, I know entertainers, I know, we know athletes just because of where we are, right, where we live, and that it's just that easy. But it's not those relationships that make the business thrive. It's the relationships that you build with journalists and media outlets and places like that really make a PR firm, able to do its job. And it's about you being a people person and understanding social sciences to some degree, that you need to know how people are going to behave if they are exposed to a certain bit of information or how they look at what's going on in the social climate of today. So it's not just about red carpets and parties. And actually, for me, we work with primarily nonprofits and CBOs. So it's really not a lot of that at all for us, but we're out here doing the work that makes a difference. And I think that's really a misconception, especially with social media, that entrepreneurship is, my bank account is filling up while I'm at the beach with an umbrella in my glass. And that is so not the case.
Wow. And I think that is such the reality of what entrepreneurship is in a social media era. It is a bit different, right? I mean, for those who have started some time back, and not had social media to sort of drive their work, but also how they do their work, right? I mean, everything is sort of shifted a bit, but, any experience you've had, Rich, as you grew your business and grew your brand, that you wished that you could have done something differently? I think a lot of entrepreneurs look to hear that. Like, what could have you done differently, or anything that you would have changed as you grew your business from sort of an infancy stage to where it is now?
I would have gotten an accountant way earlier on. Absolutely. I am great. I figured I was great at math. I had a math scholarship when it was time for me to go to college. So I'm good at math. I can do this. It's a totally different ball game. So I would have gotten an accountant way earlier on. Entrepreneurs have to know that we can't do it all. Right. So when we first open the doors, we are wearing many hats. We're cleaning the bathroom. We're, selling whatever we're selling. We're making the products, but you can't stay that way for too long. And whether it's through bartering or what have you, you need to find a way to bring on a team. You can't do it. Solopreneurship is really not solopreneurship. You still need a team. So I would have gotten an accountant way earlier on to help me manage just looking at how much profit I was actually making or how much of my own monies I was putting into the business and how I recouped that back. That for me was something that I definitely would have done differently.
That is such a sobering point, even during the pandemic, as we as a city and the federal government and even from our philanthropic partners are looking to aid small businesses. One of the things we continuously see, particularly around our businesses of color, is the lack of the back office infrastructure to help fill out some of the paperwork and the different things that they need. And so we've been providing that service, of course, free of charge to a lot of businesses, but you don't know you need it until you actually need it. And sometimes it's a little too late. So that is such great advice. Get some accounting and support services. How did you pivot your business during this time? Can you tell us a little bit about that, and then going a little bit to your current plans and what you're hearing from your employees, even your clients? What are some of the general concerns? So how you pivoted and sort of what's the future look like?
So initially, I think like everybody else, I was scared. Like, what the heck is going on? And we did lose some clients right in the beginning. We had a political campaign we were working on, and because they could not fundraise or did not quite know how to fundraise, they ended their contract with us, and we totally understood that. However, I've had the luxury of building a small community of business owners, and one of the things that we did immediately was we sent out a survey to all of our clients and to other business owners we knew and said, hey, what do you guys need? And we threw together really quickly a small workshop that we called Pivot, right? And figured out how we could offer our services online. So there may have been like maybe 6 of us all together, from creative to finance to strategic planning to advertising to marketing to web development, e-commerce. We just all got together and we threw a workshop and said, hey, it's free. We'll give you 10 or 15 minutes. We'll give you something tangible to walk away with. So they had like a sheet for SMART goals and a PR tip sheet and all that kind of stuff, and said, hey, just so you know, we're here, right? So that was kind of the start of us saying, we're here, was to open, our services are available online. The other thing that for me worked was helping my clients. Like I said, we have a lot of nonprofit organizations. They were wondering what they were going to do. And so helping them to go virtual, to take the classes and the programs that they were doing in person and turn those things virtual, was not only sustaining to them, but also sustaining to me, because we had another service or skill set that we could offer to clients. Hey, we'll help you go virtual. And so we did that. We got a little bit more involved in the social media aspect and the content creation of things, because we weren't necessarily focused on that side. And then we got a little bit deeper into the writing side of things. So we've been able to write email marketing content and text content, SMS content for a lot of our clients. Or now we have marketing firms coming to us and saying, hey, we have this client, this is our marketing campaign, can you write the email copy, the sequence? So we were able to do that. And so that's really helped us. It helped my team to identify other talents and skill sets that they have and that we can be proud of, and still, stay in business. It was a little rough for a while. I have a great team that they said, hey, if you can't pay us for a couple of weeks, we're not going anywhere. We trust you. We're here. We're working with you. So, I've been blessed in that right. But it has been a little scary. I stopped paying myself in the beginning so that I could make sure that there were monies for them. And thank goodness I do have another income stream, but that's not all of us. And so we were looking to just get involved as much as we could to help other businesses still sustain.
Yeah. Well, look, I think you're, sort of a great segue into our next portion of our conversation, which deals with mentorship, right? So, what can we do? What can we do with each other, peer mentors, helping each other sort of navigate this process? So, Ken, can you talk a little bit about the BENYC Mentors Program? Why is mentorship important for us in general? And of course, Tiffany Joy, you can join in on that piece, but I just want to talk a little bit about that, the program, but also the significance of mentorship as an entrepreneur.
So Tiffany has talked about an approach which is absolutely essential to doing work with impact. You've got to, fundamentally get an understanding of the crux of the problem itself, understand the fundamentals, do your research, whether it's surveys of your employees or the landscape and otherwise, and then propose a solution. So, in speaking to the how of getting the work done, a really important piece of what we have been building our programs on was a seminal report that was issued by BENYC in August 2020, which was called Advancing Black Entrepreneurship in New York City. And in that report, we had conducted a landmark survey of over 1,500 Black entrepreneurs. And one of the most important findings was that survey showed that less than 40% of respondents indicated that they had sufficient access to mentors and supporters to help them launch and scale their business. Now, why is this a problem? Why is this important? Why is this a concern? It's because in those early stages, for many business owners, some of the mistakes that you can make that are fundamental mistakes can actually be fatal and terminal. They can prevent a business from being able to scale to where it should. They can actually prevent a business owner from being an entrepreneur and pursuing that path. So it's really important, and we tried to solve for that problem by connecting talented entrepreneurs, really in a pre-startup and early stage, with experienced mentors in a whole host of industries, so that we can really position them to avoid those early obstacles and to be positioned for long-term success.
Yeah, I think mentorship provides a plethora of things. One, accountability, right? Because you have someone that you know is looking at you and, making sure that you do what you say it is that you're going to do. I think mentorship sparks creativity. Iron sharpens iron. So if I have someone to look to who has made the mistakes, who can give me another perspective, exactly what they did may not work for me, but I can take that lesson and morph it so that it does fit for what's going on in my business. The other thing I think is a network. A lot of other cultures, the way that they get things done are through referrals. I call them fairy godparents, so you have someone who is proven in that business that goes on and refers a client to you or refers business to you. We need to have more of that in the Black community as well. So I think those are really important. I think it's also important to know that, again, like I said, falls aren't failures. To have someone that's been in business longer than I have, that is having an experience maybe 20 years in that I'm having in the 5th year, then I'm like, oh, this is not just me. So I'm not doing anything wrong. This is just the nature of business, right? And it keeps you from having that feeling of throwing in the towel or giving up. So mentorship is important on so many levels.
Wow, that is so true. And I always remember thinking about my mom. I say this story over and over about her running a small business with 6 children and working full time as a social worker and kind of doing it all, but not have a mentor, not have somebody that can help her think through how to grow this business that she was like one of the best salesmen I ever met, and not being able to really maximize that potential. So this is why we have this mentor program. And how can people who are interested get involved with BENYC Mentors?
First thing that people can do is you can go to our website. You can go to www.bementors.nyc, and you can learn about the upcoming sessions that we are going to be having through this program. I should say that this is something that we are recruiting for on 2 levels. We are looking for people who are interested in gaining the expertise and the connection to a mentor through participating as a mentee. But we are also looking for people who are interested in sharing their professional experience as seasoned entrepreneurs and business owners to be part of our program as mentors. What the format is going to look like is each individual who will participate will be able to benefit from one-on-one mentor sessions. They're topic-specific sessions that are led by a business leader, subject matter expert. That person, as Tiffany was saying, will kind of provide you with their personal experience, their expertise, and also access to a network and a community that they're involved in. And in addition to the one-on-one sessions, all of our participants will be able to participate in group-based sessions, so sort of a cohort-based approach. And we've really established this on the learning that oftentimes some of the best lessons that are taught and that are received happen in a peer-to-peer context. And so we will have group mentoring sessions as well that will enable even more New Yorkers to benefit from the wisdom of our seasoned entrepreneurs.
All right, so we're going to go. We have only a few minutes left. The time just flew by. Are there creative strategies or additional details business owners need to be equipped with, particularly in this post-COVID world?
I would say know that business is not business as usual, and that there is no going back to normal. This has changed the business landscape forever.
I would say you just have to be very resourceful, have your eyes open, and you have to be nimble. Be ready to take advantage of opportunities that you may not have previously considered, because what you have to do in this moment is you have to survive, and you have to do that in this moment in order to move forward and build and grow.
And the last one for you both, again, why is it important to support Black-owned businesses right now more than ever?
Because our children need to know that they have an identity. And that's probably one of the issues with our youth. So that's one. Two, because we have a cultural perspective that's necessary in the marketplace. And actually, big box retailers won't survive without our cultural input. So they need to understand that.
We need to support Black businesses because Black businesses employ Black people and employ and provide resources, economic resources to the communities. They are community centers. In addition to employers, they are places where people come together and learn how business is done, how community is built. We also have to understand that in the context of this moment here in New York City, supporting Black businesses is supporting New York City's culture and the life of this city. So we contribute to Black businesses. In turn, the owners, the business owners, the proprietors contribute back to the life of New York City, the greatest city in the world. And to be frank, Black-owned businesses are at the crux of our economic recovery. If we are able to support Black-owned businesses, we are able to enable them to continue to employ people in the community, to continue to provide resources and goods and services to the city. We will be able to prompt and spur the overall economic recovery of our great city.
Now, I know we're looking at where things are from the economic standpoint and how difficult things are, but it's also a great time for opportunity, right? Is this a good time to start your business? We see that business growth and new businesses, new startups have actually increased year over year, and we know it's going to happen this year. So there is opportunity out there. What do you guys think about that? Is this a good time to also start your business?
I'll jump in and say, absolutely. This is a great time to start your business. Not only are people closer to home, so if there were things that they weren't getting in their neighborhood, if you can provide a solution to that, they're more likely to shop with you because they are staying closer to home now. A lot of businesses have allowed their remote work to continue. And the other thing, from a PR perspective, there are a multitude of brands and businesses and financial institutions that are looking to support Black-owned businesses coming out of the current social climate. So there definitely is opportunity there for financing, for funding, for support, and great programs like BENYC.
There is a moment here where individuals who are looking to start a business will have access to information and resources that they may not have known about. And more of them are on the way. And so through BENYC, we are really making a point to provide access to that information, to cultivate even greater connections with the private sector, with philanthropy, so that we can bring some of those resources together for the benefit of Black business owners in New York City. And let me say this, given this current moment, the entire world is wide open to Black-owned business. You can get yourself situated, set up a virtual storefront, and you can have access to a worldwide market. This is the moment to start your business, and you will have the support for that effort through city government and BENYC.
Listen, thank you so much for being with us. Go out, support your Black businesses, and happy Black History Month to you all. Thank you for joining us.